I never planned to be famous. In fact, if you had asked me a week before everything changed, I would have told you I preferred being invisible. My name's Daniel. I'm 17, and up until recently, my life was painfully normal. School, home, video games, repeat. I wasn't popular, not particularly talented, and definitely not the kind of person people noticed in a crowd. But all of that changed overnight. And it started with something incredibly stupid. It was a Friday evening. I had just gotten home from school, exhausted and annoyed after bombing a math test. My parents were out, the house was quiet, and I decided to do what I always do when I'm stressed: talk to myself. Yeah, I know how that sounds. But this time, I wasn't just talking, I was venting, loudly, dramatically. I grabbed my phone, opened the camera, and started recording a fake motivational speech, but in the most sarcastic way possible. I paced around my room like some over-the-top life coach. "Listen," I said, pointing at the camera, "nobody cares about your excuses. You failed that test? Good. Now go fail again until you accidentally succeed." I even threw a pillow at the wall for dramatic effect. Life isn't fair. Your crush doesn't like you? Fantastic. Build a personality. I don't know why I kept going. Maybe it was the frustration. Maybe it was the freedom of knowing no one was watching. Or maybe I just needed to let it out. After about 5 minutes of this chaotic rant, I stopped recording and watched it back. And I laughed. For the first time that day, I genuinely laughed. On impulse, I posted it online. "No one's gonna see this anyway," I muttered. I couldn't have been more wrong. The next morning, I woke up to my phone buzzing like it was about to explode. Notifications, hundreds of them. Messages, mentions, comments. At first, I thought something bad had happened. Then I opened the video. 1.2 million views. I blinked. Refreshed. 2.3 million. My heart started racing. What is happening? People were sharing it, laughing, quoting it, turning my sarcastic lines into actual motivational captions. Build a personality was suddenly everywhere. Someone even wrote, "This is the most honest motivation I've ever heard." I sat there staring at my screen, completely stunned. By the afternoon, it hit 5 million views. By evening, my inbox was flooded. "Dude, this helped me today. You made me laugh when I needed it. Are you going to post more?" Me? Post more? I wasn't a creator. I wasn't even confident enough to answer questions in class. And now, millions of people were listening to me? It didn't feel real. At school on Monday, everything was different. People I had never spoken to suddenly knew my name. "Yo, you're that guy, right? Say the line, build a personality." Even my teachers smiled at me like I had done something impressive. I should have felt amazing. But honestly, I felt terrified. Because deep down, I kept thinking, that was an accident. What if I couldn't do it again? What if people realized I wasn't actually funny or inspiring? For a couple of days, I didn't post anything. I just watched as the video kept growing. 10 million views, 15 million. It didn't slow down. But something else started happening too. People weren't just laughing anymore. They were opening up. One message said, "I've been struggling a lot and your video made me feel less alone." Another said, "I was having a terrible day and you reminded me to keep going." I read those messages over and over again, and something shifted inside me. Maybe it wasn't about being perfect. Maybe it wasn't about being a real motivational speaker. Maybe it was just about being real. So that night, I picked up my phone again. This time, I didn't try to be dramatic. I just sat on my bed, looked into the camera, and spoke honestly. "Hey, I didn't expect any of this. I was just having a bad day and decided to talk nonsense." I paused, then smiled slightly. "But if that nonsense helped you, then maybe I should keep talking." I took a deep breath. I don't have everything figured out. I still fail. I still doubt myself. But I guess we're all just figuring things out as we go. I posted it. No overthinking, no performance, just me. The next morning, it blew up again. Not as chaotic as the first one, but stronger, deeper. People connected with it. That's when I realized something important. Fame didn't come from trying to impress people. It came from being honest when no one expected it. I didn't become famous because I was special. I became famous because for 5 minutes, I stopped pretending. And maybe that's the part no one talks about. We think we need to be perfect before we show up. We think we need talent, confidence, approval. But sometimes, all it takes is one real moment, one honest expression, one decision to stop hiding. That accident changed my life, but it also taught me something I'll never forget. You don't need a perfect plan to start. You don't need to be ready, and you definitely don't need to be fearless. Sometimes, the thing that changes everything is the thing you almost didn't share.